So we are reading for Seekers of God by Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj. You know, he is a Mukta Purusha. So the words of the Mukta Purusha come out of their experience, personal experiences. So which is the best guide for spiritual sadhakas, because it is all words of their experience. So it's very important for us to read, understand what these great Mahapurushas have told. So these are all Jivan Muktas. So I always quote this, One day a devotee comes to Mahapurush Maharaj and asks, Maharaj, how are you? And Maharaj replies, are you asking about this body? What was the question? Maharaj, how are you? Answer is, are you asking about this body? This body has so many ailments. Sugar problem is there, BP problem is there, asthma problem is there. All these problems are there. This body has all the problems, but I am not suffering. See? Body has all the problems, but I am not suffering. Then he says, with infinite grace of Sri Ramakrishna, he made me realize that I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am the Atman. I have no birth. I have no death. What kind of statement it is? Just think about it. So a Mukta Purusha talks like this. Called a Jivan Mukta. It's a great advantage for us. So we were able to get these talks recorded and we were able to hear them and put into practice. And sadhakas can gain so much of knowledge, experience from these talks. So example he says here, one devotee is asking Maharaj, we see you and what we want is that your body should keep well. So Mahapurush Maharaj replies, you may wish that, but I know that I am not the body. See, you may wish that, but I know that I am not the body. See how Jivan Mukta speak. Huh? The relationship I have with you is not a physical one, and it will not be destroyed with the destruction of the body. My child, the body is short-lived, but the spirit is eternal. And the relationship with the spirit is also eternal. However much you may try, this body cannot last always. How much you may try, the body cannot last always, eternally. Ram Mohan Roy expressed it beautifully. Preserved with care, straw or wood may last even for a cycle, 100 years. But care cannot arrest the body's dissolution. Says, who is yours? To whom do you belong? Whom can you call your own? See? Who is yours? To whom do you belong? Whom can you call your own? This ignorance must be eradicated. What he says is, this ignorance that I am the body has to be eradicated. Man suffers so much by ignorantly identifying himself with the body. See the clarity here. Huh? Man suffers so much. Why? By ignorantly identifying himself with the body. That's why man suffers so much. Only reason is wrong identification with the body. Do you know the way out? Do you know the way out?
Yes.
So the way out is to know Him, to know the Lord. He is purity, knowledge, and freedom itself. Purity, knowledge, and freedom itself. He is the indwelling spirit of all. He is the indwelling spirit of all. By knowing Him, man goes beyond pain and sorrow. What is we have to become free from pain and sorrow? By realizing Him. That is why the Lord said in the Gita that the worst of sorrows cannot disturb a person if he once knows Him truly. After attaining illumination, man can remain unshakable and immovable under all conditions, like Mount Meru. Yam labdva cha param labham manyate nadikam tataha yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. Bhagavad Gita. What Maharaj quoted here. Now devotee asks another question. How can that illumination be attained? Please bless us so that we may attain that state. The state of illumination, God realization. So, the Master says, the Master is to say, he quotes Sri Ramakrishna now, the breeze of divine grace is always blowing. So the breeze of divine grace is always blowing. Simply hoist the sail. The grace of God is ever present, but one must make an effort to deserve that grace. To deserve that grace, one person has to make effort. Of course, we are blessing you. You also sincerely call upon the Lord. You will see how great His mercy is. Start calling upon God. He is ever ready to shower His grace. God beautifully says, ever ready to shower His grace. Take His name. So he said, take His name, worship Him, remember Him constantly, and call upon Him very earnestly. Says here 4 points. So first one he says, take his name. Worship him. Remember him constantly. And call upon him very earnestly. You have to note this, all the 4 points. First one he said, take his name. Take the Lord's name. So that is Nama Sankirtan. Take his name. Worship him. Then remember him constantly. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara. Remember him constantly, all the time. See, these are the 4 important points I said. And call upon him very earnestly. Vyakulata. Develop Vyakulata. Call upon him earnestly. With these 4 methods, really you can realize God. Huh? You will see how gracious he is. So much grace will descend upon you that you will be overwhelmed. See? Kripa. So much grace will descend upon you that you will be overwhelmed. How beautiful. Your life will be blessed. See? Nothing can be accomplished without his grace. Again he says. Observe it. Nothing can be accomplished without his grace. This is what we must remember. It is he who has kept this world enchanted by his Maya. See? Huh? How beautiful he says. It is God who has put this world enchanted by his Maya. Clear? Huh? That is why one should also pray. Straight, Maharaj puts it very straight. It is he who has kept this world enchanted by his Maya. Most important point, what our scriptures have told. Sri Ramakrishna has said, now Mahaprabhu Maharaj is telling this. Understand this point, very important. So it is he who has kept this world enchanted by his Maya. That is why one should also pray. Only way to come out from this Maya, influence of Maya, is by praying. By prayer to God. Pray to the Divine Mother. Now Maharaj says how to pray. See, how to pray. He's telling, O Lord, do not keep me ignorant with your world bewitching Maya. See what he says. O Lord, do not keep me ignorant with your world bewitching Maya. This is what you must pray. Give me pure devotion to your lotus feet. May my life be glorified. So Maharaj graciously advises what to pray. This is what beauty in this Jivan Muktas. See, straight. God has put you in this ignorance, this Maya. Only way out? Surrender. Lotus feet of the mother. Beautiful solution Maharaj gives. Unless the Lord casts his compassionate glance upon a soul, how can he cross this illusion? See? How can he cross this illusion? Unless his grace comes. Beautiful. In the Chandi, there is a line. The mother, the giver of all boons, being pleased, bestows emancipation upon souls. So the mother is pleased, divine mother is pleased. So gives you mukti. That is most important. That is to say, being pleased with the prayers and devotions of men, the mother gives spiritual emancipation as a boon. So you propitiate the Divine Mother. Only by her grace and blessings come out of this from this Maya. Only Mother's Kripa. Kripa, only by grace. It is possible. Being freed from Maya, they realize their divine nature. See? Being freed from Maya, they realize their divine nature. It is very difficult to snap the bonds of Maya without the grace of God. Each word Maharaj spoke. Profound. Very profound. It is very difficult to snap the bonds of Maya without the grace of God. But it is also true that if a person sincerely prays to him, he listens to that prayer and lifts the veil. If a person sincerely prays to him, he listens to that prayer and lifts the veil. Power of prayer. Lord listens to our prayers and you lift the veil of Maya. Again, nothing but Kripa. Kripa, Kripa, Kripa. He will listen to your prayer all the more because you are in the world. See, more compassionate. He is especially gracious to you, householders. See, especially gracious to you householders, because he knows that we carry a heavy load on your shoulders. Advantage for householders. More gracious, especially gracious. Why? Because he knows these people carry heavy load on their heads. They are difficult to do sadhana. That's why special grace. You are being scorched by the sorrows and bereavements of this world. So householders, you see how fortunate they are. They get more grace easily than other categories. God knows they are carrying heavy burdens on their heads. Samsara.
Heavy vehicles. Heavy vehicles.
See, you are being scorched by the sorrows and bereavements of this world. That is why, if you pray a little, He will be pleased and come to your rescue. See, problems are solved. Quickly removing the load from your shoulders. If you pray a little, He will be pleased and come to your rescue, quickly removing the load from your shoulders. Oh, very easy it is. Little prayer. Sufficient. He will come so quickly and removes so much of load on your shoulders. So pleasing it is. But that prayer should be sincere and earnest. Shraddha. Of course, he responds very fast. But that prayer should be sincere and earnest. You have, of course, your worldly duties and responsibilities. As long as this creation lasts, duties and responsibilities will exist. You can get rid of them. But in the midst of all this, you will have to make a little time to call upon the Lord in seclusion. See how beautifully he puts it. But in the midst of all this, you will have to make a little time to call upon the Lord in seclusion. Otherwise, you will come to grief. With all your duties, you must spare some time to call upon God in seclusion. Otherwise, you will come to grief. There is not much danger if one can hold on to God. So, there is not much danger if one can hold on to God. It is very necessary to remember Him. Understand? It is most important to remember Him. Very important. With one hand, hold on constantly to His lotus feet, and with the other, perform the duties of the world. It's a very good solution. With one hand, hold on to God. The other hand, do all your duties. When all your duties are over, you should hug the lotus feet of the Lord to your heart with both hands. When work is over, so both hands hug the lotus feet of the Lord. But one hand always with the lotus feet of the Lord only. You can never be freed from that. Other hand when it is free from work, so both hands hug the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is what we are supposed to do. With one hand, hold the lotus feet of the Lord. With the other hand, all your worldly duties, responsibilities. When that is over, both hands hug the lotus feet of the Lord. For all the householders, this is the best practical advice. So given by Swami Shivananda Maharaj. See how practical they are. In these 2 pages, good to summarize the whole sadhana. Why we are in bondage, why we are suffering, why so much of suffering, how to come out from this bondage, how to be free from all the sufferings. He gives a simple solution. The Lord has put you in delusion, Maya, Samsara, Sharanagati. That is Sharanagati. He told us how to pray. O Lord, bring me from this Maya, out of this Maya. Be gracious to me. Easiest way. Shankaracharya prayed, Anato daridro jara roga yukto mahachina dina sada jadyavatra vipattau pravishtaha pranashta sadaham gatitvam twameka bhavami.